Hi, I'm Megan. Some of you may have seen me around school on a Friday afternoon. I'm here today to talk to you about wellbeing. Wellbeing is really important to us all. It's important to children, but it's also important for adults. So you may find that some of your family members practice yoga. You may find that someone you know practices yoga. You may know something about it, or you may know nothing about it. So I hope in this assembly this morning, I can just show you a little bit about how it connects our body and our mind together. So we all have amazing brains. We may have learnt about our brains in science, or we may just know a little bit about how our brain connects to our body. So our brain's a little bit like a computer. We learn lots of new things every day, and all the things that we learn are stored within our mind. So sometimes when we practice something called mindfulness, it can really help to settle our brain, and that can also then help to settle our bodies and make us feel calmer and more relaxed. A little fun fact is that our brain doesn't fully develop until we're the age of 25. So if we think about all that information that we're gaining when we're young, and we're learning all of those things each day, we then realise how that when we practice our yoga, we practice things that make us feel good. We think about activities that we love to do, like maybe a sport or an activity that gives us that feeling of joy. It helps us to feel better within ourselves and allows our brain to develop and build in a way that is really positive. We have more than 50,000 thoughts a day. So if you think about that, when you wake up in the morning, you may roll out of bed, you're getting ready for school, all of these things we're doing. From that moment we wake up, we are learning new things, we're having thoughts that are coming into our mind, almost like fish in a fish tank. Our thoughts can swim through our mind and we may not even ever think about them. Or we may catch that thought and listen to it. So when I explain about our 50,000 thoughts, and I'm talking to you a little bit about the importance of our mind and our body connection, and how when our minds are really busy, we can have all our thoughts moving through our mind, a bit like my glitter jar. So I'm going to shake it up and show you. So if we look at all this glitter, how busy our mind is, I'm going to show you the other one as well. Lots of different kinds of glitter. You can see that when our mind is busy, sometimes we can feel overwhelmed. Sometimes we can feel that actually we can't take on any more information. And this is why mindfulness is something that a lot of sports people do, a lot of professional people in the Olympics. We also find a lot of footballers practice mindfulness and yoga. And we also find that it's used a lot around the world. And that's because when we practice something called mindfulness, it's about allowing all these thoughts that are going through our head all the time to settle. So if we watch this glitter jar, all our thoughts are busy and we can't necessarily focus on a new task, we can't focus on a new thing. But if we watch, a bit like our mind, the glitter settle, we can see how we can use our mindfulness and our yoga to allow ourselves to just settle, and then we're able to absorb more information, we're able to take on those new challenges, and we feel really positive about it. So we have, as I talked a little bit about, amazing brains. But we also have our central nervous system. Now, you may have, again, heard from your teachers something about our central nervous system. But I want to talk about simply two parts. So we have something called our parasympathetic nervous system and our sympathetic nervous system. Now, when we practice yoga and mindfulness, we use our breathing, we change the way we hold ourselves, so we think about our posture, we think about our mind and how that connects with our body. So when we use our breathing correctly and we practice our yoga, we tap into our parasympathetic part of our nervous system. Now that is the part that makes us feel calm, rested and able to settle, like I showed you those glitter jars. If we are in our sympathetic part of our nervous system, it is something called our fight or flight. Now you may have heard of that, but something changes in our body when we're in that part of our central nervous system. Our heart rate increases. So you may feel your heart goes boom, 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 a bit quicker. And we may feel our breathing increases, because what's happening is our body is going into, I need to escape from this situation. It may be I need to keep safe. It may be you're feeling anxious or worried. But it may also be, sometimes people are in their sympathetic part of their nervous system when they're about to run a marathon. So they need all those hormones running through their body, and they need their brain to say, yes, we need to run away. We need all those movements to be able to do that. So I want to talk to you about the importance of our posture. Now, you may know about your posture. You may know that actually, when we change our posture, we can feel different. So we're going to do a little exercise now. So I need you to take off your shoes, if you're happy to take off your shoes, and we are going to stand up. So we're going to make sure that everyone around us, we've got a little bit of space, which I hope you have in the hall, and that we can take our shoes off. But if you're worried about taking your shoes off, you can keep them on. So that's the thing about yoga and mindfulness. We just do what feels right for us. So let's all take our shoes off and get standing, and I'll see you in a few seconds. So our posture is really important. So now you're all standing up, I wanted to talk a little bit about our posture. So if I was to hunch my shoulders and clench my fists a little bit, then what happens is all these little muscles around our chest shorten, and then it encourages our shoulders to close. It then means that we're not bringing in enough oxygen to our body, and that can help make us feel tired and maybe not as good as we could be feeling. So we're going to do a little exercise just to allow you to focus on your posture. So to start with, what I want you to do is just see if you can feel the weight in all four corners of your feet. And I want you to stand tall but relax your shoulders so that you feel you're nice and open here. And what we're going to do is we're going to bring our arms down towards us. We're going to bring our arms all the way up with our palms facing each other. And then we're going to take our arms behind our shoulders, almost like twinkling stars. And we are going to turn, I'm going to turn around, we're going to join our hands together and see if we can drop our hands down towards the floor behind us. So it just feels that our shoulders are relaxed and we're opening up through our chest. And then we're going to bring our arms all the way up again and all the way down. So we're going to do that one more time. And I want you to see and maybe tell your teacher whether you feel a difference in the weight in your feet. So in yoga, we think a lot about being grounded, and that means that when we're standing and we've got a good posture, we don't feel wobbly. We feel nice and open and strong and tall. So this time, we're going to say to ourselves, we're strong and tall as we do that sequence. So are we ready? So we're going to take our hands down the side. We're going to bring our arms all the way up really tall, almost like we've got a ball above us. And then we're going to take our arms slightly behind our shoulders, only if it's comfortable. interlink those hands behind us and just allow them to almost move down a little bit, almost like we could be a penguin. So we're just standing really, really tall. Can you feel the weight in your heels now? And then we're going to come all the way up again. So really nice and tall. And we're going to bring our hands back down. And we're going to shake ourselves off because movement is really important. We need to move because that's what our bodies are made for. So now we've done that little exercise thinking about our posture, we're now going to focus a little bit on our breathing. So we breathe every day, don't we? We are just breathing all the time. But what's really important is that we want to use our breath and movement to help us to feel good. And that is done in a really exciting, special way. So I'm going to teach you. And I'm going to teach you with one of these balls. I want to explain something to you, but to start with, what I'd like you to do is I'd like you to interlace your hands and place them on your tummies. So, simply on your tummy. And what we're going to see is we're going to be like detectives. We're going to see whether, when we breathe in through our nose, our tummy is rising like a balloon. And when we breathe out through our mouth, our tummy is sinking. So I want you to check this out because sometimes our bodies can be a bit confusing. So sometimes we may take a breath like this and we may pull our tummy in as we're breathing in, and then we may let it out as we breathe out. And that is called reverse breathing. And what I want us to do today in the session is I want us to focus on our tummy being like a balloon. So as we breathe in, it's expanding. As we breathe out, it's sinking. Okay? So I have a ball. I'm going to explain it as a balloon. So you may have had smaller ones than this in your classroom, or you may have seen one at home. But what I'm going to explain it as is when you have your hands on your tummy, your balloon is expanding with all the positive things that we want to bring into our body, all the things we love and enjoy. And as we breathe out, it's sinking. So we are going to do this together. What I'd like you to do is keep your hands on your tummy and think of your favourite colour. So what we're going to do is we're going to keep our hands on our tummies, and as I open the ball, I want you to breathe in, and I want you to imagine you're breathing in that colour into your body. So we're breathing in, our tummy's rising like this big balloon. And as we breathe out, it's just falling away from us and sinking away. So that was brilliant. So now we've done that, we're going to sit back down again and we're going to put our shoes on, and I'll see you in a few seconds. So we are going to do a little sequence using that breathing that I've showed you. So we need to remember that as we're breathing in, our tummy's rising. As we're breathing out, it's sinking. But we are going to do a little sequence with our hands. So what I want you to do now is I want you to sit comfortably, or if you want to, you could come up to standing again. So, are we ready? So placing your hands together, we are going to start with our breathing. So I want you to check in on your posture, shoulders nice and relaxed. Are you nice and comfortable? We're going to breathe in. As we breathe out, we're going to open our book. I am strong. We're going to say in our head. We're going to close our book. We're going to breathe in. As we breathe out, our hands come towards us. Breathing in. As we breathe out, we're going to make the roots of our tree with our fingers. So we're feeling grounded. That means our mind and body are connected and feeling grounded. We're going to breathe in. As we breathe out, we're going to bring our hands together, thinking about our hands. Now we're going to breathe in one more time. As we breathe out, we're going to keep our thumbs together, our little fingers, and we're going to stretch our hands out. And we're going to say again, I am strong. Now we're going to take our arms above our head as we breathe in. So placing your hands together, breathing in, and then we're going to, almost like fireworks, bring our arms down to the side as we breathe out, extending that breath out, saying, I feel calm. Hands back together. So when we use our breathing, it is really good to have something to focus on. And when we focus on the positions of our hands, it can help us remember, like I've taught you, that our breathing, how it works within our body. And if you love sports and you love playing cricket or netball, you will find that using this breathing technique will really help you not only focus, but it'll help you breathe right to the bottom of your lungs, which will mean you have more oxygen in your body to perform at your best. So we are going to do a little exercise with our feet. So you've probably got your socks on and you may not want to take them off, so that's fine. But what I want you to try and think about is see if you can spread all your toes out really wide so they feel grounded. And then we're going to see if we can keep our little toes on the mat and we can bring our big toes up and move them. And then we're going to see if we can bring our big toes down and move our little toes and lift them up. And then see whether we can put our feet down and feel all four corners of our feet. So you've seen how I've done it, so we're going to do it together. Are you ready? And don't worry if your toes don't move the same as mine, because we're all very different and that's what makes us unique. So we are going to lift our big toes, give them a little stretch because we never think about our feet often. And then we'll put our big toes down and lift our little toes and give them a little bit of movement. So then we can just plant them down on the mat and we can feel nice and grounded so our feet feel rooted down through the floor. So this is a little sequence you can do at home, so it's a little bit of homework for you. So we are going to think about our posture again, sit up nice and tall, and to start with we're going to bring our arms out to the side, bring them across our body and just give ourselves a hug, remind ourselves how special we are. And as we do this, we're going to gently massage from our shoulders all the way down our arms. So I want you to give them a little massage, so just a little squeeze. And while you're doing it, feel how your body's feeling. Does it feel tingly? And when we get down to our hands, we're just going to gently squeeze in between the joints of our fingers, which can make us feel nice and calm. So my arm's feeling a little bit tingly, so we're going to do the other side. We're going to take our arms out to the side again, bring our arms across our body and just squeeze down the sides. Brilliant. And then all I want you to do is be a little bit like a clock. Bring one hand to the floor. We're going to bring one hand behind our ear, so we're in the right point. And we're going to take our arm over like this. Nice stretch. And then we're going to come to the other side and move our arm over. So we're like that clock. Over one more time. And then again, the other side. Good. Thinking about our breathing. We're going to take a little twist like a rainbow. So we're going to bring our hands up. Our palms are going to face together. And we're going to bring one hand to our knee. The other fingertips just behind our shoulder. And we're just going to see if we can look behind our shoulder. So we feel a nice big stretch up the side of our body. And we're going to focus on our breathing as well. So we're now going to draw our rainbow the other way. Bring our hand to our knee, our other hand just behind us, and look over our shoulder. Good. And then come back to center. Just squeeze your hands together, stretch them, squeeze them, stretch them a couple of times. And we're going to move around onto our side. So what I want you to think about is having your feet, again, planted on the floor. So they're just in line with your hips and your knees are bent. And we're just going to do something really simple. To start with, we're just going to move our feet a little bit and we're going to think about our tummy. We're going to bring our hands behind us. And when I say 1, I want you to just gently lift your feet slightly off the ground. Very simple. And stay like that if that's all you want to do. Or we could go 1 and 2 and then back to 1. And then from here, we're going to put our hands behind us, behind our thighs. We're going to check we've got space behind us and we're going to roll back and forth just for 4 rolls using our breathing. So I want you to breathe in now through your nose like that balloon. As we breathe out, we're going to roll back, forward, back onto our toes. We're going to sit nice and tall, thinking about our posture. We're going to breathe in again. As we breathe out, all the way up. Twice more. Breathing in, breathing out. Last time, breathing in, breathing out. And then I just want you to turn back onto your mat with your legs crossed and give yourself that last hug, just reminding yourself how special you are.
Gaz, for many, something quite different. I don't know if you've done this before.
I have done it before actually. It's pretty good, just to obviously get a good stretch and just relaxing really, just taking the time out to concentrate on yourself rather than thinking about anything else.
If you can get your breath down and get your mind working properly, there's a big relationship between body and mind, so it's especially nice after an anaerobic session as well in the gym.
So does it tend to relax you?
Big time, mate, yeah. Anything where you start to drift off, mate, and get some decent stretches. I love it, mate, it's brilliant. We used to do it a bit at Leeds about 4 or 5 years ago, but to fight it off, probably something I should suggest to bring back, I reckon.
Yoga is one of the 8 limbs and there's lots of benefits, not just the physical but the mental as well. So the physical benefits, I would say, is the collagen fibre and the soft tissue recovery, and also working on injury places like hamstrings, glutes, groins, shoulders, and a lot of thoracic rotation. The mental benefits would be the mind, and the main thing is if we can conquer the mind, we can master anything in life. So I start them off with the asana and then I bring them on to the mindful relaxation and focusing the mind, and they need that on the pitch so they make the right decisions at the right time.
So it was really lovely to meet you all. I hope you've really enjoyed our assembly this morning, and I hope that maybe you will think about doing some yoga or doing some mindfulness and thinking about how it can really make you feel good and it can help with that mind and body connection. So bye for now.